Hello there.
Oh, hello there. Hello, people. All right, friends, Fit Fam, Anytime Fitness members. It's Tuesday, Trainer Talk Tuesday. So, if you guys don't already know who I am, I'm Dave with Anytime Fitness, and
I am Mark with Anytime Fitness.
all right. So, today what we're going to be talking about is strength training in kids. Is it okay for kids? All right. So this is the kind of topic that we get a lot here lately when people bring in their kids. You know, how young is it okay to be for my kid to come and train? Is it too early? This, that, and the other. So Mark's going to cover that. He's going to talk a little bit about his background, his credentials, and we're just going to discuss weight training for kids. So Mark, it is up to you now.
Like David said, I'm Mark. Started training here about 2 months ago here at Anytime. I'm certified as a personal trainer, group fitness instructor through ACE, and I just recently got my NSCA Certified Strength Conditioning Specialist certification. I have...
How long did that take you to get?
Well, I got the book and studied pretty religiously for about 6 months.
Okay.
But that's with a big background in fitness. I've been a diver and rescue swimmer in the Navy. I've done group fitness, individual fitness in the Navy, trained special operations guys for 3 years, 11 years of training guys in the Navy. So it's a pretty big background of fitness to
A lot of responsibility.
just study for 6 months and then get youth training. So up until about 6 years of age, I would say we should focus on games. You want to keep kids interested. Lots of games with, say, hopping, little sprints, bear crawls, fun activities. Obstacle courses are great. Kids love obstacle courses. I've got a 5-year-old, a 8-year-old, and a 1.5-year-old. So obstacle courses, boxes jumping up on, just anything you think of, they enjoy it. Now, for strength training, resistance training, you can start at about 7 years of age. And that's going to start with focusing on form. We don't want to get competitive with it. We're just going to work on the basic movements, squats, making sure they're doing everything correctly. And it's hard for parents to teach their kids that they don't know. So a lot of times we like to have more direct instruction from a trainer or a coach of some sort that's got a background in fitness, so they can properly instruct the form of the squat, the deadlift, and pushing motions. Injury prevention is the key. Focus on form. They're going to get neuromuscular, the brain-muscle connection. That's going to build their strength up until puberty. And then from there, that's when testosterone really hits for the boys, and they can start actually working on hypertrophy and building muscle size to generate more force.
So you said strength training, right?
Yes.
So it's not to confuse. Talk about, so we don't confuse parents, like the difference between strength training and weightlifting.
Okay, so by strength training, I'm just saying basic resistance. For weight training, like Olympic weightlifting, or weightlifting, Olympic weightlifting, powerlifting, bodybuilding, that's more competitive, and you're focusing on increasing numbers, working for max effort, pushing the limits. That's not what we want to do with children, because muscles adapt quicker than your tendons, ligaments, and everything. So if you push too quick, your muscles may adapt, and then you might get an ACL injury or something, and then you're out for 6 months to a year, and you got to start all over from the beginning. So we don't want to be competitive with the weights at a young age. That can wait till 18 and beyond. We want to be conservative, work up slowly, and build a foundation that they can go from there.
Okay, so focusing more on resistance, not so much weight.
Correct. So
Okay.
if you start off with, say, body weight squats, just your basic squat. Kids
Push-ups instead of bench.
Oh, yep, push-ups instead of bench. And you can hold like a kid's feet, let them do some handstand walks or something. That'll work their shoulders. A lot of gymnastics type movements. And then working that, and if they want to get a little bit of weight, hold a 10-pound weight and squat. Or it doesn't have to be a bar, it can just be a lightweight, just as they develop, you can add a little bit. Start off with a 2.5 pound weight, maybe a 5 pound weight. Just keep them motivated, but don't push them beyond the level.
Keep it fun because they're kids. Yeah. So resistance training, not weightlifting. So what are some of the with strength training? What are some of the benefits you think would be from doing strength training for kids?
Benefits, there's tons of benefits. Number one, increasing the load, the weight bearing capacity of your bones, so you're increasing the size of them, and that's key. That's going to prevent a lot of broken bones. That takes time, so you have to be consistent. Along with your tendons and ligaments, it makes them stronger. There's actually a lot of young girls that don't have resistance training, strength training prior to becoming active in sports like basketball and volleyball. They get their ACL injuries and their MCL, all the knee injuries, because their body's not used to that impact when they jump and when they stop and go. So building them up beforehand will get them ready for middle school, high school sports.
Okay. So let's see. I'm trying to think of any questions that I can think of. If I was a parent. And I mean, especially with a lot of kids too nowadays, we're noticing a lot more with like children being overweight. So do you think that would help with their self-esteem, things of that nature?
Definitely. So getting them on a normal routine as far as being consistent with activity, that's key. And actually there's a lot of studies that say that'll carry over into adulthood and help out. With that, I would say to also, on a side note, also proper nutrition. Teaching them about proper nutrition early will help them fuel themselves properly for their sports, and then it'll carry on into adulthood.
And you know, more and more too, as children are moving into adults, things of that nature. Like I, for example, was diagnosed with high blood pressure when I was 21. So do you think that would help with, as kids growing up, helping with blood pressure and cholesterol?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I mean, that's what doctors say is helping adults, so it's directly relevant to kids. Previously, with resistance training, everyone had thought that it would be dangerous for children because their growth plates aren't sealed yet. They're not finished growing and everything. And for males, that can take into their 20s to be completely done. That's no more. That was debunked long ago. So if you've heard that, forget about it.
Forget about it.
It's not the new thing.
Not the new thing. It's not the new thing. Kids work out. That's why there's CrossFit for kids.
Exactly.
CrossFit's just high intensity interval training. It's been around for 40 years. Hasn't changed. All right. So, ideally, what do you think the earliest age that a child can work out?
I mean, if you want to get technical, children are working out from the beginning. If anyone has I have a 1.5-year-old, she's running around, climbing, everything. She sees me squatting in the garage working out. She's right there next to me doing body weight squats, joking around, but yeah. I mean, she's actually kind of working out. Before you're training consistently, like actual, I'd say structured, all right, we're going to go train. And by train, I mean you're not just exercising to burn calories, but you're training for a purpose, whether that is to be better at a sport, to be injury prevention, something like that. 7 years old, that's probably a general good time to start, to be an actual program designed for it.
Okay. So 7 to 8. Cool. So let's say, you know, growing up, I watched Dragon Ball Z and I saw them lifting weights. So if I went up to my parents and I was like, hey, I want to start lifting weights, how do you think the best way would to approach it? And I started watching it at like 10. Do you think 10 would be okay to add a little bit of resistance on there?
I say the age isn't what matters. It's the training age. So it matters when you actually started training. Start off with a PVC pipe. That's going to give you some kind of a bar feel if you're going to work into barbell stuff. And for instance, what I do is I actually made a PVC pipe with spray painted it silver, put some styrofoam black little plates on, and let my son lift those, and he thinks he's lifting heavy weight.
Perfect. So, as far as a strength training program, before a parent, even thinks about it, what are some big things you think they should pay attention to, like getting instruction? Like, where do you think they should start?
You're going to want to find a competent coach or trainer, whether that's at a gym, if you have a sports coach that has knowledge in your area, but most of the time it's going to come from a gym, personal trainer somewhere. And you want to make sure they get plenty warm-up. So we're talking like 10 minutes warm-up at the beginning, 10 minutes cool down at the end, and in between for reps in that, you're looking higher reps. That's what you want to start with. 15. I'd say
Okay.
minimum 15, work up to 20. And then as they get better, more experienced, you could drop it down to 10, but you still, when they're young and they're not actually post-puberty yet, you want to have it in the high rep range.
Okay. So I guess the big things that we can take away from strength training for children is seek instruction first.
Yes.
Definitely, whether it's if they're playing sports, definitely seeking instruction. Because if you're doing football, soccer, baseball, t-ball, whatever, your coach needs to have some sort of instruction. Playing Little League football, playing Little League soccer, stuff like that, they definitely focus on us doing like squats, push-ups, stuff like that. Same stuff like Mark was talking about. They definitely focus on the warm-up and the cool-down. So like I said, the things to take away is seeking instruction, getting a good warm-up, a good cool-down, keeping it light, proper technique, supervision. Big thing, like I want to talk about in one of my later videos, is rest. Rest is super important. It doesn't matter how old you are, how young you are. Rest as much as you possibly can. Listen to your body, and then keep it fun.
Yeah. And when starting kids off, I would say 2 sessions a week is good for starting. Once they're more experienced, 3 sessions, that'll do well for them. They don't really need to do more than 3 sessions of structured training a week.
I think that's good. That's good stuff. Guys,
Keep it on 2 wheels.
keep it on 2 wheels, just 2 of them, even if you have 4. So, like I had said earlier, this is Mark. Mark came on with us, 2 months ago? A month ago?
2 months ago.
2 months ago? So, let's see, we got a question. Let's see here. What about if they do a lot of walking or running and they talk about knee pain? He's 7. What would be good for that? If he's having knee pain at 7, it won't be anything really, I don't think, from walking or running. It's probably just growing pains. Those growth plates are growing. He is growing. If it gets severe, if it's prolonged, I would probably go see a physician about it.
One thing I say for kids, what you have to worry about, well, not worry about, but pay attention to, is that everything's still growing. You cannot train them like an adult. You have to, if they're having a growth spurt, there's certain periods they will have a growth spurt, and their bones will grow, their tendons, ligaments have to catch up, and there will be certain pulls and everything that just, it'll cause a little bit of pain, growing pains.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that's what I would say for that.
If it's prolonged, then probably go see a physician about that. But again, like I was saying, Mark's been on with us. Mark's very, very intelligent, very good at what he does.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, you're awesome. We only have the best here at Anytime Fitness in Milton. Let's see our next question. Connie, our 14-year-old is hitting the weights. She's gearing up for her next triathlon. Dang! Get it?
Wow.
I can't even do a thon.
That's good. A lot of triathletes don't like to lift weights, so
That's good that she's actually doing
very
it. Because
beneficial.
marathon runners don't even realize how important it is to lift weights. It's not just running. Your core strength is so heavily involved with running, and it's good to focus on core strength. So in closing, like I was talking about, if you haven't already done a fitness consultation, if you have done one, if it's been a while and you want to get a scheduled one in with Mark, let me know. And we will get you taken care of. Mark also does personal training, so if you want to get in a session with Mark, just let me know so we can get it scheduled. So in closing, you have to pack pop. and we have to find a name for your bicep vein. So do you have a name?
No, I don't.
All right, so we're gonna find a name for his bicep vein. So in closing, Peck Pop.
I don't even know if I have a bicep vein.
Wayne, say hi to Wayne. Wayne the bicep vein. You got one. It's right there. Show the people.
Can I have a forearm vein?
Yeah, right in here. All right. So guys, if you haven't already, check out the shirts. So Mark's got Burn Baby Burn, Build Like a Boss, group training shirts. Check it. All right, guys. So in closing, you already know who we are. Dave with Anytime Fitness in Milton.
Mark with Anytime Fitness in Milton.
So yeah, you guys will be getting a video from me in the next couple of hours. Keep it on 2 wheels.
2 wheels.
Deuces.